On the last video, the goal was to make sure you have a very good understanding of the Young Nails Synergy Gel Hard System. On this part, we're gonna get into how to use the components and what they're for. We're gonna take you through those details right now on Nail School. All right, man, take us through how do we use this system?
I went over all the components and basically their consistencies yesterday. I want to be able to show you guys not just the products, but how the products are used. I'm going to take you guys through a really visual step-by-step that's going to explain not only the product, but how it's applied and when to apply it. So when it comes to hard gel application, the first step is your base gel. Yesterday, I was showing you guys the consistency of the gel. Right? It's self-leveling, really, really thin. I'm gonna show you guys how to apply this with ease. The nice thing about this product is you could also use it as a support for gel polish for those individuals who have thin natural nails. The nice thing is it's going to create a really, really reinforced structure, so whatever you put on top is going to last a long time. Let me show you guys how to pick this up. So because of its consistency, all I need to do is literally drag through the surface. And the best part about this is you're going to notice that I'm going to have a bead literally on one side of my brush. And what I can do as soon as I pick it up to take off the excess is literally tap it off the side of the jar. I'm going to break it off and it's going to leave me with a nice little bead, as you guys can see, on one side. I have nothing here, I have it all here. Now what I do is I'm not gonna get it right up to the cuticle area. I'm just gonna start right here and I'm going to start brushing it over and then start to work it all the way back. That way I don't puddle a large amount at the cuticle area. And you're gonna notice after I'm done, again, brushing on a nice thin level, it's going to look just like this. Once we have a nice coat on all 5 fingers, you're going to get it inside the light and freeze it for a minimum of 30 seconds while you're working on the other hand. So we're gonna get it in, again, we're gonna get it in, we're going to set it again. I'm only showing you guys 30 seconds. If your customer goes inside the light and it turns on automatically, then keep it inside the light as long as you're working on the other hand. As soon as you're done applying base gel to all 5 fingers on the other hand, you're gonna be ready to work on the first. Once the base is dry, you're going to have a tacky surface. Do not wipe the surface. You must continue building on top of this tacky layer through all your nails. We're going to break the building gels into 2 separate categories. You have self-leveling and you have non-leveling. Self-leveling, flex, build pink, non-leveling, concealer pink, concealer peach, clear sculptor. So the best part about this is when you are picking up and applying self-leveling, it's one technique. When you're picking up and laying down non-leveling, again, one technique. Let me demonstrate for you guys so that you can see. Let's go ahead and open up Flex. We're gonna open up Build, and we're gonna open up Build Pink. So yesterday we went through all of the consistencies. Flex being the thinnest, Build and Build Pink being a little bit thicker, but they have a lot of movement in the gel. One of the best features of self-leveling is how easy it is to pick up and set down. The best part about self-leveling is it's really easy to pick up, and you're gonna notice that when I turn it over, right, I'm gonna have gel on one side of my brush. So notice when I set Flex gel or any of the self-leveling gels to the surface of the nail, it's going to be really easy for me to pillow the product really close to the cuticles. Now for me to move the product, all I have to do is stay on top and again use a very light motion to literally drag the product into place. Notice that I'm keeping really light contact with just the tip of my brush as I'm pulling down and through. I don't want to be too heavy-handed because the gel has incredible self-leveling features. All I want to be able to do, again, is use a very, very light contact, very light contact, and lightly pull the product into place until it self-levels into perfection. You must cure all of the builder gels for a minimum of 60 seconds for a full cure. Now I want to show you guys another amazing feature of self-leveling gels, the ability to mix glitter in them. I'm going to use build, a tile, and a mixing spatula to accomplish perfection. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my mixing spatula to scoop out a nice healthy amount. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to press it onto a nice flat tile surface. The key to mixing glitter into self-leveling gel is to literally cover the whole entire surface. I'm going to take surf, I'm going to demonstrate how much. So notice as I start to cover, I want to make sure that I cover the whole entire surface just like this. Now to make custom glitters, you can take a combination of other glitters and mix them in to create your own looks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press it in like this, and then what I can do is I can start to mix it into the gel, and as you can see, you're going to create this absolutely stunning custom glitter mix. Self-leveling gels are incredible to work with because you're going to notice right away if I tilt it to its side, it doesn't move. The glitter thickens it up and creates this perfect consistency to build or sculpt with. Now we have our non-leveling gels. Two of my favorites, Concealer Peach and Concealer Pink. So the first thing you're going to notice, warm, cool. You're going to see the consistency, they don't move. Now the technique to pick it up is a little bit different. We can't just pull from the surface and expect to get a nice amount. We literally have to shovel it out with the tip to get it on one side of my brush. Watch this. I'm going to take the tip of my brush and I'm going to come in and I'm literally going to scoop it so it gets onto one side, and as soon as I turn my brush over, you're going to notice that it's not stuck right to the other side. I still have a little bit of a tail. I want to be able to tap it off. Notice how I'm tapping it off the side, and I have it on one side and not the other. The only difference when you're actually building with this is you have to slow your roll. And what I mean by that is you just have to slow down your touch as you're working it through the surface of the gel. I'm going to set it down right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a much softer and slower pillowing motion to get it close to the cuticle area. Once I get it tight around the cuticle area, I can use, again, the top portion of my brush to start working it from the surface. Now the best part about this is I'm going to be able to put my smile line in by using reverse application. The best part about the gel is it doesn't move, it stays in place. So what I'm going to be able to do is notice how I'm able to use the tip of my brush and guide it, and continuously guide it all the way down, again, keeping really light contact until I have something that resembles a really, really decent smile line. Now, again, the best part about this gel is it has a very, very slight self-leveling nature to it. You're going to be able to create really nice smile lines. You're going to be able to create perfection around the perimeter of the nail. Clear Sculptor. Again, same viscosity, non-leveling. This is fantastic when you're doing French sculptured nails, because what we want to be able to do is build a clear free edge so that our white not only cures from the top, it cures from the bottom when we remove our form. I went ahead and put a form on the nail. So we're going to use the same technique. Notice that I'm using the tip of my brush to scoop the clear out. Again, just like this. And when I turn my brush over, it's not going to be on the opposite side. What I'm going to be able to do is tap off the tail on the side of the brush, and I'm left with a nice, healthy amount. So when I am building a free edge, what I want to be able to do with this gel is I want to be able to attach it to the front of the nail. And all I have to do is literally bounce into place. And I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. I'm going to take the tail and I'm just going to follow the shape of the free edge, keeping contact. Once I get contact on both sides, for me to create length, all I have to do is use the tip of my brush and lightly start to guide it out onto the form. And this is going to allow me to build a really, really nice thin structure. The best part about doing clear on the tip, it's just like sculpting acrylic. When you build a clear tip, whatever color you build on top, you're going to ensure that you're going to be able to get a great cure from the top as well as the bottom as soon as you remove the nail form. I'm just going to go ahead and stick this inside the light, and I want to show you guys what it looks like when I remove the form. You have to make sure, again, that you freeze it for a minimum of 30 seconds so that you can ensure that you have great adhesion to the front of the nail. So I just want to be able to show you guys, if I pinch right here at the front and I slide the form down, you're going to be able to see how nice of a clear free edge I'm going to be able to build. So again, no matter what color you put on top, right, you're going to be able to get an incredible cure from the top as well as the bottom. Our white gels. We have white sculpture and snow. And as you can see, white sculpture is much more intense than snow. Intense French, and you're going to have a soft white for those who don't want this incredible intensity. When you're picking up the gel, because of its consistency, you want to be able to scoop it out just like the non-leveling gels. Take a look how I take the tip of my brush and I'm going to scoop it in order for me to get a really nice pearl. Notice that I don't have anything on this side. And what I want to be able to do is tap it off the side of the jar. And what that's going to do, it's going to leave product, notice, on one side of my brush. When you are working the product, it's really important to understand how to get it smooth in application. If I was working over a clear free edge, one of the things I want to be able to do is that little tail that you see right here. What I can do is I could literally use that tail and I can literally guide the area that I want. The most important thing is getting product right in this area. With the remaining product that you have on your brush, what you're going to be able to do is attach it, and all you have to do is use the remaining product to guide it, right, with the width of my brush. So once I have it here, notice how I'm going to use the tip just to lightly feather it into place. I need to make sure that I have contact all the way through, a really, really light touch. And as you can see, I'm actually able to build a really smooth application by keeping contact with the surface of the gel. I want to be able to show you guys what the snow looks like so you can compare them side to side. We're going to scoop out a nice healthy amount. I'm going to, again, tap it off the side. You're going to notice that I have it on one side of my brush. The nice thing about the snow, it has a little bit more self-leveling features to it. So you notice, even if I need to work it over any surface, I could literally just guide it into place. And as I start to pull through, keeping contact with the surface, the product, guiding it all the way through, you're gonna notice that the product is going to self-level into perfection right away. I wanna be able to show you guys the difference in intensities. If someone wants a really intense white, they're gonna go with white sculpture. If someone wants something a little bit more subtle, you're gonna go with snow. Last but not least is our finishing gels. We have gloss, we have finish, which is our non-tack sealer, and we have the new stain-resistant top coat. Gloss is our original top gel in a jar. And when you apply this, it's the same like picking up base or any of the self-leveling gels. You have to pull through, and then you're going to tap it off the side, and you're gonna notice that it's going to be on one side of my brush. So when you are applying it over a finished enhancement, whether it is hard gel or acrylic, you want to be able to brush through with nice, even strokes. Again, you want to be able to use nice, even strokes. Don't worry if there's a few little like legs, and what I mean by legs, lines as you pull through. Once you're done, the product will self-level nice and even and absolutely perfect. You must cure gloss inside the Young Nails light for a minimum of 2 minutes for you to get the best possible shine. Once it's cured, use swipe to remove the dispersion layer. Finish gel, non-tack sealer. What I like to do is I always want to get a little bit more on my brush, and I want to be able to use, again, a very light motion, not too heavy. Keep light contact and glide through the surface. Glide through the surface with a light touch. What it's going to ensure is you're going to leave the perfect amount that will self-level in to perfection. This must be cured inside UV LED light for a minimum of 2 minutes for optimum shine and performance. And last but not least is the Young Nails stain-resistant top coat. This product is designed to be used on top of hard gel and acrylic nails. Once your enhancement has been built out, the first thing you're going to notice is the nice fluid consistency. You're going to be able to just brush it on with ease. Once you brush this onto the surface, it has to cure inside the Young Nails UV light for a minimum of 60 seconds. Once it cures for a minimum of 60 seconds, you're going to use any one of your cleansers to remove the dispersion layer from the surface. Condition with oil to bring out that brilliant, brilliant shine. Super excited to be able to share with you guys all of the basic details about each component of the Synergy Gel system. This is going to give you guys a really good understanding of what to expect when you get your hands on the system. But don't worry, there's going to be a lot more to come when I start teaching Habib how to use this system in detail.